Alright, welcome to Battles in the East Decision Games. We're playing Bagration Stop scenario. Apologize, I've been away for a while. Work, life, holidays kept me busy, but I'm hoping now I can get through the rest of this game because the end is not quite obvious at this point. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We do see last turn the Germans, of course, leveraged their Panzer Divisions here. Elements of 3 Panzer Divisions, and literally cut off most of the Second Tank Army. Drove right through here and did that. But then the other concern for the Germans is these armies now are actually making progress, and there's victory points to be had, potentially just getting across the Nara and controlling those. And of course, our 4th SS down here is slowly being reduced. We've got the 70th coming on to handle that, and this has pretty much stagnated. They're not going anywhere, and this was an instant victory. If they could, if the Russians could take that, that's an instant victory. Now, unfortunately, I did make I call it a scenario error, and I'm going to let it ride at this point because it's too hard to fix. Let's see, there was one, yeah, the rules say basically the Soviets don't have supply for the first, they have attack supply through the first few turns, turns 1 to 3. Pretty much, well, 2nd tank, 8th guard, 47 and 69, but not the 2 on the top, are in full supply, attack supply for 1 through 3. Then turns 4 through 7, the 70th Army comes on board and they're in supply, and I kind of messed that up and thought, on the 4th turn also you pick one army and it's in attack supply. No, that waited until the 5th turn. So the Soviets were in a situation there on turn 4 where the only army on the board that had attack supply was the 70th. But then the other problem I made is starting on turn 5, pick one army, it can be in supply for 3 turns, and I picked the 2nd tank. But if you read this closely, this is the errata. You can only choose 1st Polish, 28, 48, and 65. So in theory, the 2nd tank can never have attack supply. And the only ones from turns 5 on, besides the 70th, that can have attack supply are the 1st Polish, which are down here in mauled. Let's see. Not even the 8th Guards, which is a big one. It looks like they can't be an attack supply either. They do say the 48th. That's, here's the 69. Not even this one. So the only unit that can be an attack supply in the south is the Poles. That's interesting. And then we come up here and we've got the 28th. and and then the 48th and the 65th. Let's see, that's the, no, this is the 28th. That means the 47th can't be an attack supply again. The only units are the 1st Poles down here in the south, and then 28, 48, and 65. And I think there's 28, and I think it's these up here, 65 and 48. So then the attack shifts up here pretty much. That's an interesting dynamic here. Like I said, the 2nd tank I gave it to, which was a mistake, but I'll just let it ride because they've been kind of defanged at this point. We'll see. This time the Panzer counterattack was timed better than the 1st Panzer counterattack where the Panzers got mauled. So this turn we go, and this is a Soviet supply phase, and I believe, yeah, I chose the 65th. The 2nd tank being an attack supply is kind of irrelevant at this point because they're cut off, so I'm not really going to worry about that here. Because the Germans in their counterattack surrounded it with Zoc, so basically that put all the 2nd tank army units out of supply, along with the fact that they are out of supply from German zones of control effectively. I mean, they can't get there, and the range is 7. Yeah, the Germans just stopped the bridge. I mean, they can go across rivers, but the Germans have Zoc, Zoc, Zoc. In theory, maybe, well, if these units weren't here, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe these guys could be in supply, but I mean, the Germans effectively cut them off by surrounding the HQ here. So that's kind of irrelevant. Now, in hindsight, yeah, if I hadn't picked this one, would have picked another one of these. But I'm going to let it ride for now. Going to let it ride. So, in the supply phase, what did change is all these 2nd Tank Army units are out of supply. 4th SS stays out of supply. These units trapped here of 2nd Army are continue to be out of supply. And there are a few units of this army that are too far away that are out of supply. And like I said, this army is in attack supply this turn. And then we did roll for air power, and the Soviets got the 1 combat support here. So, yeah, again, I don't know how major this, I guess it washes out in the end. So we'll just let it ride for now, but got to read this closer. And the errata is where you're going to find it. You're not going to find it in the scenario card. This corrects that. There was some confusion. So, that done, I'm going to pause and move on to the Soviet move. All right, we're back with the Soviet move. Not much here. These units are in general supply, which means only 1 attack from the army, and I think they're going to try one down here. We'll see that in a second with the combat phase, and they've got to try, but these are not good odds. And then you've got Model with the 2L shift. It's pretty different. So I don't really see anything happening down here. 70th moves up to start reducing these units as quickly as possible while keeping them surrounded. And these units are now moving to support the 2nd tank, potentially, or at least put up defenses. Again, since that army can't go in attack supply, I do not see the Soviets driving on Warsaw at this point. So, like history of the Warsaw Uprising, the Soviets are not going to come to the rescue. They just can't do it. This army is busy going to try and reduce. They can only do 1 attack because they're in general supply, the orange here. So they're probably going to take this guy out and then keep the rest of these guys trapped. But the big attacks are going to come from 65th. Now the main axis of the Soviet attack for victory has shifted up to the north. 2nd tank, you can see, is basically falling back. That's the best they can do at this point. This guy's totally trapped. He can't move into Zoc. These guys did pull all off the line and come here. And potentially they could cross the river here. Well, it's Zoc to Zoc, so I don't know. They're concentrating here. Maybe they can attack this guy. We'll see. But potentially also these guys can come across here and clear the flank, and then these guys are okay again. So we'll see. But again, the main Soviet push is up here. And let's see. This guy's in attack supply, so you're seeing attacks, I think here, and we'll see that in the combat phase. And they all have their full combat factor. And these guys, I think, are just going to do 1 attack here. That's all they're allowed. But they are keeping these German units trapped also. So that's the Soviet move. Big event, 2nd tank falling back. And up here, or at least here, the main force is going to be pushing here. Probably the next turn, these guys will get attack supply. And this seems to be where the battle's going to end up. What happens up here? We'll see. Okay, real interlude. These are the attacks here. I calculate the odds. This is before I've rolled the dice. This one's horrible. 3 to 1. I decided not to do an attack up here. We'll see what those results are. He helped out. They're just within range. But the attacks here, yeah, we've got a reduction on this guy. They're doing an attack on this. They're all halved. And, well, this is a big event here. We'll see when they get to that. Not this turn, but they're trying to reduce the pocket here, reduce this guy here, reduce this guy here. But the big attacks are here, 5 to 1. And here, this is a really big one because potentially they can eliminate this unit with 1 step. This mech unit is under attack supply, so it can move 4. It's got a whole open road here, and then these guys are doing a 5-1. So those are the attacks. I'm going to pause again and show you the results. Okay, we are back for the results. Actually, these odds changed because Model came in and wrecked their day, and the Russians actually retreated and the Germans advanced. So not going anywhere here. No attack up here. This is pretty stagnant at this point. So let's see what happened here. 10-1. This guy got eliminated. 4-1. I think they just took the loss. No, or yeah, they just. I forgot. I'll have to look it up. 4-1 on 4. Let me take a look at that. That's a 1-step loss. So they did take a 1. So they did take a loss. Okay. That's about it. Let's see, and then we come up here. This guy got eliminated. He was surrounded. This guy got eliminated. He was surrounded. So they're reducing the pocket here, but the big attacks are here, and they actually got the 10-1 on 3. I think that was a 3 asterisk, meaning they have to take 1 loss. Yeah, 3 asterisk, and it only had 1 step, so British, they were eliminated, and the Soviets advance, and mech units can advance 1 more hex. So the big event is this guy's got open roads and 4 movement factors. This guy just got pushed back, 5-1 on 2, not very good. That's just a 1-step loss. They retreat, but we got a hole here. So overall, not doing much down here. Slowly reducing the pocket here and here. And this is active, and they've actually punched a hole. We'll see how they take advantage of it during the mech move. Like I said, with this guy in attack supply, he has got halved, and movement factors are always rounded up, so he's got 4 movement, and that's a half. He could go running here, but these Panzer Divisions, they're bad news. You know, you overexpose yourself, they're going to slap you back, which is what they did at 2nd Tank. So we'll see what they do in the mech move. So let's take a look at the mech move and finish out the Soviet turn. Turn 6. All right, the mech move. Kind of hard to find mech units that can move, actually. Out of supply units can't do mech move, so 2nd Tank is not moving. This guy did move a little. Just to continue to try and trap this guy. We got some tigers stuck in here on the river. But the big thing here is these guys, they could have gone pretty far, but they did decide to be conservative. They did take the victory point hex. And one of these units, I guess they were all here. There was 3 of them. And this guy swung around to try and, well, he hasn't quite pinned him, but at least keep him from able to come around and block here. So they've got an opening. They didn't overextend. But the Germans, well, they kept this guy as reserve. How convenient. Is that enough? Can they push? Here's a crossing on the Narwa and a victory point, but again, real quick before we close it, Soviets need to get 6 victory points. They're not close. So their work is ahead of them. These two armies, pretty much, I think, are the only ones now that can pull it off at this point. So we'll see. Just looking at this, turn 6. Yeah, this is the last turn. 39th Panzer HQ is on board. It's going to be pulled off, and all their units get divided between 2nd Army and 9th Army from then on. They do get 1 more reinforcement here. So we'll see. I'll look up where that is. But the Germans are, well, you know, if I had to pick who's going to win, I'm leaning towards the Germans now because they can get forces up here to block these guys in time. And there's nothing happening down here anymore. These guys can't be put in supply. They're not going to do much. 2nd Tank can't be really put in supply anymore. They're not going to do any much. So they're kind of, this is their last hope up here. Try and swing around the northern flank and see if that works out. So we'll see. Anyway, that's Russian turn 6, and hopefully I'll get the German turn 6 turned around faster this week. Things aren't quite as busy, so maybe I can drive through the rest of this game before December 16th, and where I'm thinking about doing the usual yearly Bulge game, but I don't quite know what. But this is it's good stuff. Again, I like this system. I like the way it plays. Can't wait to play the other ones. So, in any case, thanks for listening. Likes, comments, subscribe, all appreciated, and we'll see you at the next one.